Hi everyone, welcome. It's take 2 of Tracy's Sunday Live. I'm just going to try and bring up the new video. So I'll work out my new phone eventually. I don't know. It's one of those things, I think. Technology's not my friend, and it's something that I have to keep working on, but we'll get there. Hi Rachel, thanks so much for coming back on. I knew we'd get there. Alrighty. So hopefully everyone's having a really great weekend, and we've had some beautiful weather here. It's a little bit windy, or it was windy yesterday. It's windy again today, so it's playing havoc with my hay fever, but that's just that time of year, isn't it? So I just have to keep plodding along with the hay fever troubles. Alright, so this week's challenge is a sketch. So let me bring it in and show you. I did pop it up already on my social media, so you may have already seen it. The card that I've created for today is using a stamp set from the annual catalogue. Hi Marion. Yeah, I had problems with my phone, so that's probably why you had trouble logging on. Sorry. We did get there in the end though. It's a stamp set from the annual catalogue, and let me bring it in and show you. It's a happy bright one to celebrate sunflowers. I feel that a lot of my stamp sets that I've purchased from the annual catalogue are a little neglected, so I thought I'd bring something out that I really wanted to play with that I haven't played with for a little while, and I think this one's just such a fun and happy one. So yeah, we're going to be playing with that one today. Hi Carolyn. Oh, your hay fever's playing up too, yeah. It's a really bad season this year. I've always suffered really bad hay fever in Victoria and South Australia, and I've lived all around Australia, and it's only Victoria and South Australia that I have a problem. And I found some really good tablets quite a few years ago, probably about 6 years ago, and I haven't really had too many issues, but this year, even with those tablets, it's been bad. But I know people who don't suffer hay fever that have had problems with hay fever this year. So it's just one of those bad years, I think. Anyway, so this is the sketch. Let me show you the card that we're going to be creating today. And I really like this for a couple of reasons. I've embossed it, which gives it that nice little sparkle and shine when you move it around in the light. You could certainly use Memento Tuxedo black ink and that would work perfectly as well, but you know, I really do enjoy a lot of embossing, so we have to bring that in. And we're going to be using our blending brushes. I think this is really pretty in the fact that it's not perfect. It's outside the lines. I really like that look. So that's what we're creating today. So it's a very simple card. It's not going to take us long to create, but I really like how it's turned out. So, all right, so let's just bring in some of the products that we're using. I haven't even cut my card base or anything like that. I thought we could do that all together. So I have the card base is thick white card base, and I'm going to, this is A4, so I'm going to put it in at 4 1/8, score down the middle, and then I'm going to pop it down just a little bit back from the 5 7/8, and we're going to cut that in half. That gives us 2 card bases ready to go. We have Bumblebee cardstock for our matting, and this piece is going to measure 3 7/8, which, yep, 3 7/8 by 5 3/8. So I'm just going to pop it in at 5 3/8. Cut that off by 3 7/8. Embossing queen, yeah. Thanks, Rachel. I'll take that. I'll happily take that. I think it's I don't know, I've said this plenty of times before. A lot of people view embossing as a technique for someone who's been stamping for a little while. I don't. I think it's a great one for beginners and for anyone. And I'm just going to grab, I could use thick basic white, but I'm just going to use normal basic white for that main layer. And I think that it's a wow technique that can get anyone in and crafting, and you don't need that many skills for it. So I think it's perfect for beginners. Okay, so for this one we need 3 3/4, and I'll have all the measurements in the description later on. I did have it in the other video that I did live. I'll just move it over to this one so you can see all the measurements in a little while after the live goes up. And 5 1/4. Hi Karen, Karen from North Carolina in the United States. Whereabouts in North Carolina are you, Karen? I love North Carolina. My family will tell you. If I could move over there, that's where I'd move to. It's beautiful. So there we have our layers. And we're also going to need a little strip for our sentiment here. And I'm just going to grab a little bit out of my scrap file. And for that little piece, we're going to use 4 1/4 by 5/8. So I'll cut it 5/8 first. Marshville, the birthplace of Randy Travis. Oh, very nice. Well, it's so nice to have you here, Karen. Thanks for popping in. And 4 1/4. You do live in a most beautiful place of the world. Okay, so we have all our pieces ready to go. Leave our card in the middle. We're going to work with our main setting. I don't know. I better put that in there too so you can see that. See, it's a little bit different. This is, I've changed this setting around a little bit. I've popped the sentiment on this side. I've got the sentiment on that side. You can mix and match around with these sketches. This is what's really great. It's your interpretation of the sketch. So don't feel that you're set with just that sketch. Oh, thank you, Karen. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so we are going to stamp in, we have this beautiful sunflower here and also that larger leaf. We're going to stamp these 2 images all the way around. And this is like creating your own designer series paper. You can, you're just randomly stamping all the way around your piece of cardstock. And so I have my 2 stamps ready to go. I'm going to start with my largest one. Oh, good morning, Jeanette. How are you? And you want to stamp off the edge as well. So it looks like you've stamped one large piece and you've cut it all down. And my lights in here are really bad. So I may have to do a little bit of stamping and a little bit of embossing to make sure I'm not going over everything. And I'm moving my stamp around so it's not all in the same direction. So I have a black embossing powder that we're going to use, which is part of the Essentials embossing powders that Stampin' Up! Now sell. They did get rid of the black embossing powder for a little while, which made me very sad. Luckily I had a bit of a stash, so it didn't make me completely sad. But I do need to get some more, I think, now. Just gives it so much richness to the card. Okay. So I think I might just stamp another couple before we heat and emboss, and then we'll come back with the leaves. One there and one up the top. Is anyone up to anything this weekend? Are you doing anything exciting? Got any plans? I think my husband and I are going for a bike ride this afternoon. I've been putting it off. And hopefully the winds die down just that little bit before we do, because they are going to kill my legs. All right, so Rachel's prepping for a workshop. Fantastic. So we're just melting this until it goes nice and shiny. Carolyn's cooking for shearing on Tuesday. There's not many people that still do the cooking for the shearers, Carolyn. It's very good of you. You'll get good shearers when you actually have the meals ready for them. Karen just got home with her husband visiting her daughter and son-in-law in Florida for Thanksgiving. That would have been a nice Thanksgiving down in Florida. I actually made pumpkin pies for the first time the other day, and oh my goodness, they are so good. Never had them before. I've had pecan pie. I was over in the States a couple of years ago for Thanksgiving, and we had pecan pie, and that was really, really nice. I loved that. But hearing so much about pumpkin pie, I had to make it myself, and it was so good. All the family loved it. I'll definitely be making it again too. All right, so that's all ready to go. We're going to bring in that leaf, and we're just going to fill in those gaps with the leaf. Carolyn says it's not by choice, but hard to keep the shearers, so you need to look after them to keep them coming back. Fantastic. Yeah, I find, because we're in the same area, there's a few shearers that I know that will always look after those ones that provide the meals. So it's not a bad way to keep them and keep them doing good work. I'm food motivated myself, so I 100% understand. Even as a kid, I was food motivated. My dad used to go fishing, and he'd take my brother and I, and it was okay as long as we got some snacks. But as soon as those snacks were finished, I was ready to go home. Alrighty. So we're going to bring in that powder again. Jeanette says she loves a pumpkin, but not a pie. Have you tried a pumpkin pie? Because I will admit, even after I did make it, because I absolutely love pumpkin as well, after I made it, I thought, oh, I don't know whether I'm going to like this. And even my husband, who is not a fan of pumpkin, especially in a dessert, everyone loved it. And the recipe's really easy. I can give it to you, Jeanette. Oh, I've double stamped that. oh well, it'll be fine. You probably can't tell from a distance. We won't worry about it. All right, I do have a couple of where I've pressed down probably a little hard, and I have a little bit of extra spots on here. So I'm just going to try and get rid of, I need a new paintbrush. This one's not the best. One there and one here. There we go. All right, so we'll bring the heat tool back in again. Okay, so Marian's giving away secrets. Yes, I did feed the bait to the seagulls so we could go early. How much fish can you catch with a packet of chips, a chocolate milk, and maybe a few lollies? Not many. Oh well. Rachel likes pecan pie. Pumpkin pie is good with whipped cream. Yeah, I think you have to have it with the whipped cream. Doesn't have to be. I've seen a few posts of Thanksgiving and people have been asking how much whipped cream they have on it. I don't think it doesn't need to be completely filled, but yeah, it's a nice addition with the whipped cream. All right, Jeanette, I'm sending you the recipe because, yeah, it's really nice and it's really easy to create too, to make. Alrighty. So we have our image ready to go, and look at that shimmer and shine from the embossing. I'm using a few different colours here. Let me bring them in. We have Soft Suede, Cinnamon Cider, Bumblebee and Mossy Meadow, and I'm using I'm using 3 blending brushes to colour these in. So I'm going to start off with the inside centres for our sunflowers. And what I've done is I've gone in with the cinnamon cider in the middle, and then I've just added a little bit of the soft suede just in the middle to add a little bit extra colour. So let's create those. So these blending brushes are pretty big. Oh, let's add a little bit more on there. So you are going to go out at the lines. And what's really good about this, it doesn't matter. It's meant to look, oh, I just got ink on my fingers. It's meant to look like that. So you can go through and do these really quickly because they can look a little bit messy or unneat. So we've done our cinnamon cider. I'm going to get rid of some of that colour. And then we can bring the soft suede in now. And we just want to add a little bit of the darkness to the centres. Easy. So the bumblebee for our centre or our flower image. And I actually just use one brush for the colours. So this one's like an orange and a yellow. You can use, just run them under water and the ink will come out if you like. I haven't done that yet, but I know it works. I know people who have done it, so you don't have to have one for every colour like the old sponge daubers, which is really great. So I'm going to add just a little pop of the darkness there. Can you see that in spots? And I'm just doing this really lightly. Bit of colour in spots. And that looks like it's a proper flower then. Because no flower is perfect. It has different colours and variants around. Like I said, it's going out the lines. There's no way you can keep that in the lines there. Maybe if you use sponge daubers you could, but I like this messy look. Gives it a little bit of a halo around as well. Yeah, it does make the shading very quick and easy. So you could try this with a big flower. So many different images. Okay, like that. And then we can bring our Mossy Meadow in, which is our green. And finish off all those leaves. So there is a deal going on with Stampin' Up right now. It's called Start with Savings. I just want to quickly let you guys know about it if you don't already know. There is 3 days left to take up that deal, and it's purchasing the starter kit for a reduced rate. It's $130 instead of $169. You get to choose $235 worth of product, which is a saving of $105 straight up. There's free shipping on that first order, and any order after that is 20% off. You get your demonstrator discount at 20% off. You're not locked into any contract. It's like a membership to be able to purchase at a discount. If you don't have to do any classes or, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, this hay fever. You don't have to do any classes or Facebook Lives or anything like that. You can just purchase it for your own discount. You can sell to family and friends. There's so many different ways that you could do it. But it's a wonderful deal. And if you purchase the starter kit through me, you're also joining a great little group, the Inky Stampers, where we have team meetings and we get together every month and have craft and fun and all that sort of stuff. So if you're interested, the deal actually finishes on the 30th of this month. So if you're interested, you would like to chat more about it, please get in touch and I'll happily help you through what it entails. So we have the Thanks a Bunch stamp set that we're just going to use the Mossy Meadow ink pad, and I'm going to try and get that centered. Perfect. Oh, thank you. Bless me. Thank you. All right, so we can start popping the card together. So we have the thick basic white. I've already pre-scored it before we cut it in half. I'm going to layer these two together with just some liquid glue. This does curl up a little bit with the heat embossing, so you can just push it back the other way, it doesn't matter too much. Which is really good. I'm going to add our sentiment. Where'd he go? Here he went. So we can pop that down. And I stamped it on the left-hand side of that strip. So I could cut off any bits that I want if I didn't want it quite so long. And I think what I might do is I might cut a little bit off. So let's pop him down there. And we'll just cut that ends off. Easy. We're going to use linen thread just to tie a little bow, and we're going to go around the card base as well. So let's wrap it around a few times. Two will be fine. I've still got some on the old style cardstock. Comes in a roll now. So to make it easy for myself, I'm actually going to tie a knot. I like making it look hard when it's not. Oh, I do make it look hard, don't I? I like to tie it while ribbon and twine and things are on the rolls. You'll actually won't waste as much. Okay, easy. And I'm going to bring a glue dot in just to stick under that knot piece. And that'll make sure that it doesn't move around anywhere. All thumbs, yeah, that's me. I'm a little unco, I will admit that. So I'm just going to roll that glue dot up just a little so I can place him under the knot. So cute. And we're going to add some dimensionals in because we haven't popped any dimensionals in yet. And we have to use some, so gives it a nice pop up on our card base. And before we finish, I'm going to come back in on this card. I've just stamped the inside with that sunflower again, and I haven't heat embossed it. I've used Memento Tuxedo black ink. So we're going to do that as well. So hopefully, as I've been crafting this, you've come up with a few ideas for this sketch, and I hope that you'll come and join in. All you need to do is create your project and then head over to my Facebook page, and there will be a link in the description of this video after I finish the live. So you can check that out. Go over, pop your photo of your project in the comments section, and we love to see different designs. We would love it if you joined in. More the merrier. It's a lot of fun to join in, and anyone is welcome. You don't have to even use Stampin' Up products. You can use just whatever you have in your stash as well. So that is the card that we created today. Now, if you're after any of the supplies that I've used on today's card, the beautiful Celebrate sunflowers, or maybe these beautiful ink blending brushes, you can purchase them in my online store. Use this month's hostess code, which is here. There's only a few more days left to use this host code. If you're spending over $100, I have a wonderful special going on at the moment where I'll send you a pack of the champagne rhinestone jewels, as well as the handmade card and and the bundle tutorial, which everyone gets. But if you spend over 100, you'll get the champagne rhinestones as well. So a great little added bonus. All right, everyone, I can't wait to see what you create with this week's challenge. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend, what's left of it. And I'll see you hopefully back here on Thursday at 5:30 for Create with Tracy. All right, everyone, have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.